Chapter. Okay, let's continue. Okay, the second theory is the lifeblood theory. So when we say lifeblood doctrine. So when we say lifeblood doctrine, from the word lifeblood, what a body needs is a blood, no? Without a blood, ano kaya? Buhay pa kaya tayo? Of course, we're no longer alive, no? Hindi na tayo buhay pagka wala na tayong dugo, no? So when we say lifeblood, taxes are what we pay for civilized society. Without taxes, the government would be paralyzed for lack of the motive power to activate and operate. Of course, no? Pag wala ka ng dugo, paralyzed na tayo. So, in connection with the necessity theory, it's necessary to have taxes. Taxes are the lifeblood of the government because without it, can neither exist nor endure. So, hindi tayo tatagal without any blood. Okay? Without any taxes. And of course, the third doctrine or theory is the benefits protection or reciprocity theory. Benefits and protection. Okay? So taxation is described as a symbiotic relationship whereby in exchange of the benefits and protection that the citizens get from the government, taxes are paid. So let's assume, no, and presume that we are having a benefit from it. And we are enjoying protection because we are paying taxes. So wag tayong magagalit if we pay taxes, no? So siguro iba lang yung culture natin ngayon when it comes to spending government funds of some government officials or government employees. But still, no, if we can, kumbaga, let's look at the brighter side, no? Always look on the bright side of life. Sabi nga ng kanta, no? Let's look on the brighter side of life. That without taxes, we can have benefits like free education. Wala tayong ganyan, di ba? Wala tayong park, wala tayong bridges, etc. Hindi naman pwedeng patayuan ni index lahat ng kalsada. Yung barangay nyo, syempre, hindi naman din SMBC ang gagawa niyan. Diba? So somehow, we get benefits from the government through paying our taxes. Maybe kung hindi nyo directly nararamdaman, through your purchase, nararamdaman nyo that you're paying taxes. Alam nyo, ang talagang nakaka-feel nun, yung mga empleyado, no, na binibidheld. Wala kaming magawa. Kasi binibidheld na sa sweldo, eh. So, wala na. The business owners, no? Business owners who are required to file their taxes return or their tax return every month, every quarter, every year. So, yun. And it's all because we are hoping, no, na meron kaming benefit na makukuha from the government. Especially the protection that we can get. Okay? Now, ano yung sinasabi ko kanina na power of the state? No? So there are three inherent powers of the state. Number one is the taxation power. Taxation power is the tax power to enforce contributions to support the government and other inherent powers of the state. Because without taxation, again, the government will be paralyzed. Next is the police power. So ano yung police power? The power to protect citizens and provide safety and welfare of society. And the power of eminent domain. Ano yung eminent domain? It's the power to take private property with just compensation for public use. For an instance, are you familiar with road widening? So may mga tinitake na property, no? For what? For common good. For public use. Okay. May gagawing daan, may gagawing bridge, may gagawing buildings for the benefit of the public. So may karapatan yung government, kahit sino pa ang may-ari nun, nakunin, no, yung property na yun. Pero of course, with just compensation. So ibig sabihin, babayaran ka naman. Hindi naman yung kukunin lang ng gobyerno, then say thank you. Of course not, no? So that's it. Now, what is the nature of taxation? So as this was already mentioned a while ago, power by which an independent state through its lawmaking body raises and accumulates revenue from its inhabitants to pay the necessary expenses of the government. It's a power, as a power, it refers to the inherent power of the state, co-extensive with sovereignty to demand contributions for public purposes to support the government. So that's the reason why it is supreme. No? The reason why it is supreme, imagine niyo na walang taxation power, only the police power and eminent domain. Anong pambabayad nyo as just compensation without taxes? How are we going to pay the military nga, yung police power, no? Paano yun gagalaw without taxes? So that's why it is supreme power of the land, the power of taxation. How about the nature of police power? It is the inherent power of the sovereign state to legislate for the protection of health, welfare, and morals of the community. It is exercised usually to guard against excesses of abuses of individual liberty. So we're talking about liberty here. Okay. And this power is restricted by the due process clause of the Constitution, which provide that no person may be deprived of life, liberty, property without due process of law. Okay, so yan ang pinapatupad, or that's the power, or it's the police power, no? Hindi naman pwedeng it's just the police power without any due process of law. Okay, kailangan all cases, all scenario, dadaan yan, no, sa constitution na sinasabi natin due process of law. Otherwise, yung police power na yon abuse ng authority. At hindi yun pinapayagan ng constitution. Okay? Kahit sabihin mo it's power of the sovereign state, ano yun, abuse na lang natin ng nasa kapangyarihan. Though, somehow in reality nangyayari, pero again, it should not be, no? Of course, the nature of eminent domain. When we say eminent domain, the power of the sovereign state to take private property for a public purpose. It is founded upon the idea that the common necessities and interests of the community transcends individual rights in property. Merong instance yan dun sa amin sa bahay pare. As in isang buong bahay kasi kailangan yung kalsada eh. Sobrang kasi siya accident prone area, tapos sobrang sharp curve. Pag hindi natin tinanggal, nasa corner yun. Walang nagawa, di ba? Because that's the power of eminent domain. Okay, consequently, the state may expropriate of the power by providing that property may not be taken without just compensation. So what do we mean by just compensation? Pag sinabi natin just compensation, it means paying the owner the full monetary equivalent of the property taken for public use. Pero sabi nila, hindi naman ako masyadong sure, no? Because sure, masyado daw maliit yata sa market price kapag government ang bumibili. I do not know how to. Kasi wala pa namang nakuha sa akin ng gobyerno. I just heard. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay, if not, let's continue. Okay, what is the scope of taxation power? Okay. On your book, meron dyan na may dinescribe yung three powers. I will no longer discuss it now. Pag sinabi, andun siya yung distinctions between them, their authority, the purpose. So, pakibasa nyo na lang yon. Okay, I already sent a copy of that. Okay, yung kanilang yung comparisons natin of the three powers. Okay, what is the scope? It's comprehensive. It's plenary, unlimited, and supreme. Okay. As I have mentioned earlier, no, na isa-isa ko na yan. However, despite this is unlimited in nature, meron din siyang limitations. Of course, it is subject to limitations, no? So, parang ang sinasabi kasi kapag comprehensive, unlimited, supreme, kahit ano itatax to. Okay? Naisip ng gobyerno, i-tax ito, i-tax. Of course not. No? May mga limitations din. Subject siya sa institutional limitations and constitutional limitation. So halimbawa may common of course sa mga business, itatax natin. Pero may mga business kasi under the Constitution. Exempt sila. Like churches. Okay, so as we move on, madidiscuss siya. So parang kahit supreme siya, hindi pwedeng supreme ka nga, pero itatax mo lahat. Diba? So, let's discuss the different limitations. First is the inherent limitations of taxation powers. When we say inherent limitation, inherent that it is inherent sa kanya yan. Number one is territoriality of taxation. When we say territoriality of taxation, merong certain territory yung taxation. For an instance, province of Bulacan. Bulacan ang sa sample ko kasi nasa Bulacan kayo. Under the province of Bulacan, by the way, no, kasi i-discuss ko pa siya on a little later. BIR and Bureau of Customs ang in charge in collecting taxes on a national level. And we have the local government units for each locality. So when we say BIR, alam nyo na yan, you're familiar with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Sa Bureau of Internal Revenue, sa Bulacan, we have two office, no? Ano ba tawag doon? We have district office. We call it district office. We have two RDOs, Revenue District Office sa Bulacan. The 25A and 25B, dati pala yun. No? Yun yung naalala ko. Ngayon, pinag-isa na lang sila. Pero alam ko, kahit isang location lang, dalawa pa rin, which is 25A and 25B, located in Balagtas. Before 25B is located in Plaridel, kung alam niyo yan. And 25A, baka napagpalit ko na, is located in Santa Maria, Bulacan. So ngayon, located na lang siya in Balagtas, along bypass. So malaki kasi yung Bulacan. Kami dito sa Zambales, isa lang RDO namin. Sa isang district office lang siya. Now, when we say territoriality, hindi pwedeng i-tax ni Bulacan yung property ng nasa Zambales. Technically, di ba? Hindi natin pwedeng gawin yun. Okay? Because we have a certain territory. Sa Bulacan na lang itself. You cannot tax, of course, yung Baliwag. Ang itatax ng locality is within the area of Baliwag. Hindi pwedeng i-tax ni Baliwag si Pulilan. Otherwise, magagalit ngayon yung nearby towns. Okay? So the filing of returns sa halimbawa si Pulilan, magfa-file ba siya in other When it comes to filing of returns kasi pag same district okay lang kaya wala tayong sa municipalities. But when it comes to local taxes, per municipality talaga yun. Pulilan is Pulilan, Baliwag is Baliwag. Plaridel, Plaridel. Okay. But when it comes to BIR, ang territory natin per revenue district office, which is Bulacan, Zambales. Okay. Sa Bulacan, dalawa. Okay. So, meron lang exemption, no? To the territoriality principle. In income taxation, resident, citizen, and domestic corporations are taxable on income derived within and outside the Philippines. Kasi pag sinabi natin territoriality, yung business income or individual income, professional income mo sa Bulacan, taxable sa Bulacan. Okay? Pag sa Zambales, taxable siya sa Zambales. Kaya lang, meron kasing tinatawag na kino-combine din naman yon. Pero when it comes to corporation, which is madidiscuss natin siguro midterms, lahat within or outside the Philippines, taxable sa Philippines. Okay, pero pag foreign corporation, only income from the Philippines are taxable. So may ganon. That's territoriality. Territory. Okay? So in transfer taxation, ito yung sa business tax too, no? Residents or citizens such as resident citizens, non-resident citizens, and residents alien are taxable only dun sa transfer within the Philippines. Outside the Philippines, hindi pwede. So that's another territoriality. territoriality of taxation. So, per territory. For an instance kayo, may income kayo from abroad. Di ba uso yung tutorial online or yung BPOs online as you're earning $1? If you're a resident, pag corporation kayo, taxable yun. Pero normally, kapag yan nga yung problem natin ngayon kung paano tinatax yung BPOs na yan. Kasi depende yun kung i-declare nyo. When you declare it, of course, taxable na yun. Ma'am, pwede po bang hindi i-declare? Pwede naman. Diba? Kaya dadayain nyo yung gobyerno. Okay? Kaya lang nga, normally yung mga foreign BPOs na yun, normally undeclared kasi yan. Kaya hindi rin nare-require naman ng government natin na i-declare nyo yun. So, pero kung ang income mo is within Bulacan lang, you're required. Kasi you're under the Philippine laws. Tax law. Okay? Next. International Committee. What do we mean by International Committee? There is a fundamental concept, no? The world agreed, countries of the world agreed to one fundamental concept of co-equal sovereignty, where all nations are deemed equal with one another, regardless of race, religion, culture, economic condition, or military power. No country is powerful than the other. It is by this principle that each country observes international committee or mutual courtesy or reciprocity between them. Government do not tax income and properties of other governments. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kaya nga sinabi ko, pag foreign, halimbawa, US company. Pag US company ka at base ka sa Philippines, at may income ka from the Philippines, taxable yon. Okay? Pero kapag meron kang income from the US, from Singapore, from any other countries, it's not taxable. Okay? So, yun, no? Ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng sakupin ng isang country yung another country. Parang, ito. Ito lang yung pwede mong i-tax under dun sa mga companies na nasa iyo. Government gives primacy to their treaty obligations over their own domestic laws. So may kanya-kanya kasi tayong taxation laws. Iba sa Philippines, iba sa ibang country. So technically at normally naman, sa ibang country, same as with the Philippines, ang taxable lang sa country nila pag may Philippine company doon, ang taxable lang siyempre sa area nila is yung income from their area. Any other income outside their country, hindi yun taxable. Taxable yun dun sa country kung saan sila, kung saan nila na-earn yung tax na yun. Okay, another inherent, okay tayo? Baka natulog na kayo, no? Okay, another, public purpose. So when we say public purpose, tax is intended only for common purpose or for public purpose. Otherwise, you cannot just collect taxes para sa bulsa mo lang or just for your own good. Okay, it is absolutely for public purpose. It cannot be exercised to further for any private interest. Exemption of the government. Of course, syempre, gobyerno ang magtatax. Kami pa ba naman ay itatax? Diba? Syempre, ang mga government agencies, hindi siya exempted kami from taxation. Okay? Non-delegation of taxing power. So when you say non-delegation, the legislative taxing power is exclusively vested in Congress alone. Okay? So hindi siya pwedeng ibigay iba ang hindi natin pwedeng i-delegate 'yon. Pursuant to the doctrine of separation of the branches of the government, hindi pwedeng mag-decide si judicial for that or si executive. Sabi ni President, i-tax nito. Hindi, di ba? Ilang ulit natin na narinig kanina pa. Taxation, power of taxation is a legislative power. So without any legislation, hindi ka pwedeng mag-tax. Okay? Pero, may mga exemptions dun sa non-delegation of taxing power. Under the Constitution, merong allowed, such as LGU, Local Government Unit. Meron tayong tinatawag na sangguniang bayan at sangguniang panlalawigan. They're local legislators. So, hindi sila Congress, no? They are not Congress, they are not part of Congress, but they are the local legislator na nag-iinak lang ng tax law within their locality. For instance, Bulacan. Baliwag, Bulacan. So, ang iinak lang nila within Baliwag. Halimbawa, lahat nagbebenta ng bibingka, free from taxation. Kunwari lang yun, no? Every season yun, di ba? Naalala ko kasi yun dyan, sa may simbahan. Or otherwise, pwedeng i-tax din ng double. O, parang inhumane, no? Siyempre, subject to due process of law yun. And kung iinak yun ng sangguniang bayan, syempre mawawala sila ng botante. So, di nila gagawin yun. Tariff and custom codes. Ito naman, pag tariff, the president is empowered to fix the tariff. Yan yung, pagka naman natin, yan yung sa Bureau of Customs, no? So, hindi ko yun i-discuss kasi hindi siya part ng ating topics or subject. Okay? So, next week, so it's already time, no? Next week, we will continue discussing the constitutional limitations of taxation, the stages, the situs, and other fundamentals. And then we will move on chapter 2, hopefully kung matapos natin siya. Okay, at the end of this Zoom meeting or Zoom class, I will be sending a short quiz through your Google Classroom. Okay. So, yung iba na-discuss ko, yung iba hindi pa. So, I hope you can answer. It's just a free test. Tingnan natin, no? How well do you know about taxation or kung nakinig kayo? Okay. So, any question before I leave and before I post the link? Yes, question. Mikey?
Yes po. Good afternoon po. Ask ko lang po if pwede po pasend po ng PPT sa Google Classroom po. Yung presentation po.
Sure. Okay. I will.
Okay po. Thank you so much po.
Okay. Any more question? If there is none, then wait for the link for your first quiz this afternoon. Okay? So, see you again on Wednesday. Bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.